This is a moment I've been working towards my whole life. It always seemed like a far-fetched dream. And now that it's finally here, it's surreal and it's crazy and just so exciting.
We're not nervous, are we?
His minor hockey coach, who's going to be here tonight, he found a little letter that Dylan wrote when he was maybe 11.
And so he sent us a picture of it yesterday, and it was like, wow, it's right there.
Where you see yourself when you're older, and Dylan said, I want to be playing in the Western Hockey League when I'm 16, and I'm going to do that by working hard, and then when I'm 20, I want to be in the NHL, and I'm going to do everything to reach that dream. And it was neat to see his little handwriting when he was 11 and saying those things, and now actually he's here.
Chase after it himself. Lindgren's going to drop the gloves. We've got a fight behind the Rangers' net.
I knew I was going to get into a fight this year. I just didn't know when, but I was prepared to do so.
Dylan Cozens, the workhorse from Whitehorse, is throwing right hands, throwing them, and he is connecting. Dylan Cozens.
Great job, young man.
You're not supposed to say you love it as a coach, but I will say I love it.
Just being a young guy in the league, I think it's a way to, kind of gain respect from your teammates and try and get a boost from the guys.
It was motivating, was inspiring, was exciting. It was a surge for me and for our entire team.
I think that was probably the most fired up we've been all season.
That was awesome. That was a heck of a job out of him to stand in there. It's a great, message to the lineup for sure.
Tremendous kid, tremendous young man.
Tremendous young man.
Yeah.
That's the key right there, because Dylan Cozens just turned 20. He's still a kid. But in this game, he is a man, and he proved it tonight.
He's only going to continue to get better. He's got that old school hockey in him.
Kyle said he thinks you have some old school hockey in you. Where does that come from, you think?
I think it just comes from, being a kid raised in the Yukon, and just the way I was raised, I like having that grit in my game.
Now let me paint the picture. Dylan comes over, introduces us. We try to let him know that we're, just normal. We're not like the CNN type reporters. And Riv turns to him with just a dead straight face, and he says, "You spend your summers in Alaska?"
He aced his geography exams last week. That's just
Alaska, not a state in the country of Canada.
Not a
or a province or a territory, for that matter.
Ever since I was 3 years old, my dad built the backyard rink for us to go out and just skate. And right away, I kind of fell in love with it. I was always out there till late at night, staying out as long as I could.
Just remembering the boys, it was always who was going to play goal. And sometimes they didn't want to, and it was kind of who drew the short stick. It got pretty competitive with these guys on the rink, and younger ones trying to keep up with Dylan.
He was pretty relentless, and I'd be tired, and I'd want to go in sometimes, and it was late at night, and there's no way. We had to play more games. So I want to play a game, and we'd be out there, and then he didn't like losing, but I didn't like letting him win. So it was sort of, well, you have to really earn it, and he would, and he was pretty relentless. I remember that, and it gave me flashbacks to when I was a kid playing on the rink that my dad made for me, and just watching him grow and develop like that.
We spent so many hours back there. I honestly don't think I'd be where I am today without that backyard rink, so I owe my dad a lot for that.
Leaving home. You think you're going to have to deal with that when they're 18, 19, going to university, but it was really, really difficult.
But now a breakaway for Cozens, in on goal, scored!
We knew we had to do this for him at that time. The real difficulty was not making the choice to let him leave. The difficulty was living with the reality that he had left.
Here's a chance, Cozens alone, scores! His hat-trick goal!
It was just hard to live with him being gone. It was hard on the brothers, too, with their big brother gone. It wasn't always hard, was it, boys? Sometimes it was all right.
Oh, what a goal! Dylan Cozens, spectacular!
As difficult as it was his dream, and we didn't want to have any regrets that he couldn't reach his full potential.
At the blue line, walks in and shoots, he scores!
Dylan Cozens is first in the National Hockey League, and it is a rocket. This game is tied, and boy, this young man earns every second of this celebration.
First goal in the National Hockey League demonstrated the confidence on many levels, not just, this is my first NHL goal. It was almost like, this is what I do. This feels normal for me. Dylan Cozens as a player is very intense and competitive. He initiates and loves a challenge. There's so many intricacies to his skill set. I've continued to present things to him or challenge him, and he continues to add and acclimate.
Early on in the season, after practice sometimes, Donnie would just grab me and help me work on some things, just lots of shooting and getting pucks off under pressure and off balance.
He is a guy that targets improvement and trying to be successful that day, but improve so he's more successful the next day. Because of that, he's eyes wide open. He really is absorbing from everybody and anybody.
Back to the point, to Darling in, and all of a sudden that's the one! That's the one! Jack Eichel is first of the year!
Yeah, being able to learn from a guy like Ikes, he's an unbelievable player. It's obviously been tough, with him out with injury, so anytime that you lose a guy like that and a player of his caliber, it's definitely tough.
You know in a season you're going to have injuries, there's going to be fluctuations within your lineup, and players that may be playing down in your lineup, they have to be ready to seize an opportunity, and Dylan was ready for that.
Right on the board, right out in front, they score! Dylan Cozens tucks it home, and the Sabres are up 3-0.
He was preparing for that each day, and he thrives on those challenges, and that has pushed him through his career.
World Juniors is obviously something every Canadian kid watches growing up. Being able to wear the C on my jersey was awesome. Obviously our captain got hurt, would have loved to play alongside him, but at the same time I wore it with pride and honor, and just being a second-year guy on that team, I knew I brought leadership skills.
He's got another goal and another point. 3 goals for Dylan Cozens.
My first World Juniors experience was definitely one of the best times of my life. Being over in Czech and seeing the amount of Canadian support we had out there was crazy. The stands were filled with red jerseys, and to be able to win gold in a comeback game was something I'll remember forever.
Something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life, so I'm just going and enjoying the day as much as I can. I think I'm going to be fine until we start getting into our seats and everyone starts settling in. I think that's when it'll kick in, but I'm not too nervous yet.
Good luck, Dylan.
Thank you very much. I don't even know, it's crazy, it's surreal. So excited.
I wanted to be there one day. I wanted to be one of those guys that got to go up on stage and stand in front of the whole arena and the whole crowd. And now that it's finally here, it's hard to believe.
A little nervous now?
Yeah.
Good luck, bro. Get it done. Good luck to you too, but you aren't
gonna be good. It's gonna all set in and realize that this is happening and that my dream is coming true. And when he says, "Welcome to the NHL," it's gonna be crazy and overwhelming feeling for sure.
The Buffalo Sabres are pleased to select from Whitehorse, Dylan Cozens.
Oh my God, I love you.
I love you too.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
I've been to Whitehorse.
You have?
Yeah, it's very cool.
Nice ovation. History made as Cozens becomes the first player from Yukon territory to be selected in the first round of the NHL Draft.
I think for the Buffalo Sabres, he's the type of player they absolutely need.
Dylan Cozens joins us. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's just crazy, it's so exciting. My family sacrificed so much for me to get to this point. I didn't want to let them down, but
As far as Dylan as a young player, I saw that he was far, far ahead of kids his age in maturity and skill set and ready to make a step into the NHL.
Yeah, for sure, buddy. I'm just so excited to be a part of the Sabres. I believed it, and I believed in myself that I could make this happen one day. And now that it's finally here, it's a crazy feeling. It's something I've worked towards my whole life, and now I know that a whole new journey's just begun. Good, how are you?
One more time?
Yeah.
How's it feel?
So emotional and just so exciting.
Well, we're happy to have you.
Yeah.
Now the whirlwind starts.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
And Dylan Cozens has it down the left side, in behind the net. In front, Reinhart scores! And this is becoming a nice habit
I was still on the line with Sam there, and I thought we were playing real good together. And I was getting a big opportunity, so to have to miss out was definitely disappointing for me.
Miller tapped it back. And it's cleared back in, and Aston Reese, who was involved in the collision, along the board.
Yeah, Dylan Cozens having a hard time getting over to the bench.
When he got injured, in one sense, he didn't deal with it well, and in the same sense, he dealt with it great. He was mad. He was very upset that he got injured, and he was adamant about returning as quick as he possibly could. And with him, he's the type of player that's literally pushing the trainers and doctors and telling him, I'm fine, I can do this. It's indicative of his appetite to compete and play.
But, it's part of the game. Just try and work back as quick as I can to get back into the lineup.
It's the passion that he plays with. It's the love of the game that he plays with. Plays to win situations, plays to win the game. When he's out of the lineup, that's a big void. And when he hops back in the lineup, that's a big surge.
Obviously this season, we've battled a lot of adversity, with injuries and COVID and everything. We haven't had too much fan interaction this year. It's not quite the same. We're definitely excited for when we can have full capacity again.
I think of Buffalo, I think of our fan base, I think of the passion for hockey in this community. Both sides have a lot to look forward to. I think this is what Dylan thrives on.
It's a hockey city, it's a sports town. They got a great fan base here, and they want to win. Right away, I wanted to be a part of the solution and come here and help.
Great shot by the young man in the slot area, and see once again, there's that smile.
You see that smile and the happiness, that exemplifies his attitude. There's a positive aura to him and a positive energy where guys will migrate toward him. It's something that you see and you feel. It is the type of player and person we need.
Over the years, you keep hearing people say, oh, the odds of getting to the NHL. You've got to be realistic. It's not going to happen because the odds are so great. The response was always, well, someone makes it every year. Why not keep trying? The dream is out there. Let them chase the dream.
Clears a chance for Cozens. What a shot by Dylan Cozens. Top shelf.
Keep staying connected because your speed is going to give him fits all night tonight.
You can't get enough of what Dylan Cozens brings to a team. Looking forward, the ceiling is very high.
His actions are talking so much louder than any words that he could have.
His maturity level for a 20-year-old is off the charts. He's going to play in this league for a long time.
I believe down the road, there'll be lots of people around hockey talking about, I want to be like Dylan Cozens.
It was always just a dream, and I always believed that it could happen. I think I realized that I could do this for a long time, and I wanted to do it for a long time, and I worked as hard as I can to get here, and I'm going to keep working. After today, it's a whole new journey that's getting started.